Hey everyone, sorry I couldn't make it to class. Unfortunately, I have job training on that day, but not to be left out, I decided to pre-record myself and do my presentation that way. Alright. As for my general idea of Chicago costume inspirations, I took parts of okay, I know it's far away from the American culture as possible, but I took it from the yin and yang concept, light and dark. And if you notice at the symbol, it has like a curve in it. Basically, the shape of that implies that there's a little bit of a um, motion, as in like motion, kinetic motion, implied in that design. So therefore, it's playing around with the fact that um, that Roxy is basically the main character of that play, and how the choices that she makes from the light to dark um, moves the play forward. Um, so for my presentation, just to get this person out of the way, this is my idea for Velma. For Velma, um, well, I didn't put down her prison outfit in there because that's just going to be for everyone who is going to be in any scene of the play involving a prison. So basically, this is just the top one here is just her uh, outfit when she's performing any of her numbers, and this is when she is, just doing the interviews and all the other scenes that do not involve her performing or inside a prison. Okay, for the next one, let's see. So these are two ideas for Roxy. Wait, okay, oh, there we go. As you can see, I did not put any performance stuff because it's gonna be the same concept as Velma, except Velma will have a static color of black um, throughout the whole play because she is already in the darker side of the vaudeville spectrum. So therefore, these two are like basically her pre-prison and interview Roxy costume, and this right here is the courtroom Roxy. Yeah, and just to let you know, everything on Roxy's costume is a little lighter than Velma initially, but then as the play progresses, the shades will turn from dark to light. As from the light part is where she starts off in the play, and as the play progresses and as she explores the darker side of vaudeville, her costume becomes a little darker. But then once, the times where it will become lighter again is, for example, like after the death of an inmate, uh, Roxy starts to become a little bit more dependent on Billy Flynn, which is actually my next person. As for Billy Flynn, he doesn't have that much. I don't think he should have that much variation in costumes. Um, and therefore, the two styles that I picked out for, well, not two styles, but just a mixture of this and this, kind of the hat adding the little bit of a gangster-ish style to kind of show that he's not really 100% in the law. And here is basically just him being the spiffy old Billy Flynn that we all know and love. And also, the general color for him, he will also be a static character. Well, not static character, but more like his colors will stay static. It will just be a shade of gray, um, shinier the nicer because the shiny grays would kind of imply a silver-ish color to imply his silver-tongued nature, and also the gray to show that he's not. Although he is a lawyer, he is, like I said, not 100% into the lighter side of the yin and yang. So basically, he is a tool in the play to move the plot forward in order for the whole story of Roxy trying to gain fame and get out of, execution possible. And now, my fourth character, Amos Hart. Um, it's basically I try to look for the plainest clothing possible, and so this one is on top, and um, the most common thing that people would see, and in my opinion, that was a brick wall. When you see a brick wall, you don't see anything much. You don't think much about it. You don't like say, "Oh, that's a pretty brick wall." So therefore, it's like for this is basically inspired by the song Cellophane, where it's like you see through a person, and in like a general setting, what do you see through a person? You would see like everything around you, and the most common thing that you would see outside or inside would be a wall. So therefore, the color scheme of him is more of a brick wall, and just to add a little dash of color instead of just the whole cast being gray, black, white, and finally, in terms of characters, the final person is Matron Morton. Yeah, I took some of the inspiration here. This actually was shown in the Chicago movie, but then, you know, Mama Morton comes in many different shapes and sizes. For here is basically her. It will be this color, but just a tiny bit lighter. I just can't exactly find the right shade of black to kind of match the outfit that she's wearing. But yeah, this is basically the Mom Morton when she's just in the prison, and this will just be like a one-time use costume um, for her one song. And finally, like I said, the all the inmates will pretty much have the same costume. I try to keep it as similar as possible. My approach to this was get as few costumes as possible. Make sure that there's not too many variations, or else you have to go and buy like similar costumes, but then they have like different variations to them for different actors. So this is the prison outfit. Um, yeah, although it is male, it will still apply back in the day. I mean, a general, um, it's the general prison outfit. For Velma, of course, it will be a little darker. As for Roxy, it will just be lighter. And then when she's in the prisons, I would like the costume shading to be a little darker, 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 and then go from lighter, lighter, lighter as the play gets closer to the end. And yeah, this is the yin and yang symbol, like I explained. The dark side and the light side. The light side is where Roxy will start. And so as she steps into the black dot here, that's basically her embracing or shows the willingness for her to go into the darker side of the yin and yang, which is the darker side of vaudeville. And her acceptance of naivety is what moves forward into this area where Billy Flynn guides her throughout the whole trial, and her teaming up with Velma Kelly at the end will just be the dark side of the light side of the yin and yang symbol, and therefore there's like a constant motion here. And so, yeah, that's pretty much the whole overview of my costume design for the Chicago project. I hope it was informative.